Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of African Voices in Europe. I am your host, Joshua Aigu Oyamo, and today we are joined in the studio by Dorcas, a lady from Kenya who works with Fry on Arbeit, and she has been in Salzburg for quite a while now, and she also a co-founder on Outside Prayer and Platform Africa. She's from Kenya, like I said, and she's part of the organizers of African Festival in Salzburg since 2024. And remember, African Festival just held on the 5th of July 2025, the second edition, and Dorcas is part of the organizer. Dorcas, we are glad to have you in the studio joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hope it wasn't stressful for you to get to this place.
Not really, not really.
Okay.
I wish that we had better weather. Yeah.
Yeah, the weather is a bit funny these days.
Yeah, for summer it's not.
I thought it was going to rain when I was coming.
Thank God it's not raining, but it's still very dull.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And Dorcas, there's always a first question I like to ask my guests whenever they are here. Mm-hmm. And it's, what was your first impression when you got the invitation to come to African Voices in Europe?
My first impression, I thought to myself, this is the first time I'm going to be on TV or something. I don't know. I can't quite remember. No, I don't remember. I thought probably I was excited or nervous. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How is it doing? How is it going for you being in Salzburg?
It's going great. I'm really thankful for what I've managed to do, where I'm at, the connections I've made. I'm really, really grateful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So now, I did a brief introduction of you to the viewers, to the audience, and I don't think that was all about you. So I want you by yourself now. Tell the audience about yourself. Okay,
so I'm Dorcas. I was born and raised in Kenya, in a town called Nakuru, the home of flamingos. I lived in Kenya until I was 25. After high school, I moved to Nairobi, where I worked for some time. And then I moved to Austria. I come from a family of, I have 4 siblings. Okay. There's only 1 boy and 3 girls. I have a mom and a dad. I'm thankful for that. And yeah. And about my life here, I will probably talk about that within the conversation. Yeah.
So you see, she's from Kenya. A lot of people have said you're always having Nigeria guests. Now we have a Kenyan.
It's changed.
Yeah, we have a Kenyan guest in the house today.
Yeah.
So, Dorcas, what inspired your move to Salzburg?
To Salzburg, specifically. I got a university acceptance letter. Oh. That was it. If we are going back a little bit, inspiring my moving from Kenya to Austria, then the need for education, and education that is affordable, something that I could manage. Yeah.
So you came to study here in?
Yes, I initially left Kenya through the au pair program. Okay. I was an au pair in a town called Graz. And I stayed there for some time, but immediately I arrived, I started applying for university because I knew that was my goal. Okay. Yeah. And so after I got the acceptance letter, I moved from Graz to Salzburg, and I started doing my German classes, and then started studying and started working, and now we're here. Yeah. So,
like I understand, you did both your bachelor's and master's in education. First, why education?
Yeah, initially it wasn't education, because when I left Kenya, I knew I wanted to study and I wanted to do something that would earn me money, in Kenya. Okay. And what earns you, like one of those jobs that are very secure in the area of tech. Yeah. And so I did apply for informatics or computer science in English. And after I started the study, I realized, like, a month into it, this is not for me. Because I think it did not meet my expectations. I thought I'm going to meet so many people. We're going to be in conversations. and you go into a computer science class and they're all like nerdy people just stuck onto their computers, not talking to anybody. And I thought, yeah, now forget about it. And now it opened up the thoughts of what am I really interested in? Okay. Yeah. What would I do even if I wasn't getting paid anything? What would bring so much satisfaction to me? And I stumbled into education. And it's not education in the sense of training to become a teacher. Okay. It's not under the teacher training system. It's education as in you're going to be working in the community, in the social areas. Yeah. Yeah, so it's being like a social worker without the title of a social worker. You're just an educator. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like you can work in very, very different areas. You can work in early childhood. You can work in the after-class activities in schools. You can work at the hospital. You can work in home for kids and teenagers. Yeah. You can work with the refugees. Like there's so many places, and I thought it was just amazing. Yeah. So how was it easy for you to study as an African woman? Yeah, even putting away African woman, yeah, just say as a migrant, because the study itself is in German. Okay. And the prerequisite is that you do finish your German up to B2, and then you start your classes. And you know, my thought was like, just B2, okay, I'm going to do it. And I did it, and I started the classes, and I realized I can't understand a thing. Like a whole year, I was not understanding anything. What were you teaching? Yeah, nothing at all. But I depended on the handouts. Okay. Thankfully, we would have them posted online, and I would just like print them, translate word for word, and then write my exams. And then after a year, I started understanding what they were talking, because what is not taught at B2 level is the scientific language. Okay. You know, and also what you don't realize is the dialect is part of everyday life. Everyday life. Yeah, whether it's in school, at work, everywhere. And that's not something you learn in a German class. In a German class. Yeah. So it was pretty difficult for you at the beginning? It was difficult, honestly. It was difficult. And that was just the side of classrooms. When it comes to living, you have to pay rent. Salzburg is one of the most expensive towns in Austria. I say that again. Finding student housing, finding a job as an English speaker. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And it was difficult, honestly. The first 2-3 years, it was not that easy. But I realized that the more I got to understand German, the more I was able to understand my way or find my way through things. Certain. Yeah, it made things much, much easier. So now you agree, or we both agree, that the language is very important for anybody who is coming to Salzburg or who is coming to Austria. Absolutely. And I know, working in integration, I know that it's not always a given that you will prepare for it. Yeah. You know, because people come here under different circumstances. But if someone is planning, I know that the door has been opened for skilled workers from different countries. So if anyone is planning to come, and you know, you like the job you're seeking is almost a given, then just do your German classes. It will make things much more easier for you. So now, speaking about your work, because you currently work with Frauenarbeit, yeah, counseling women, single parents, supports your day-to-day activity. Yeah. So what has it been like, you working in this integration? Very eye-opening. I've gotten to understand a lot of things. In the beginning, I was surrounded by students, and I was surrounded by people who had almost the same background. They came here through, actually most of them were like au pairs. I met so many students in the German classes, or some came through, they came here because their family members were here. Okay. And so they all had like a certain background or a certain story to them. But when I started working at the project, our project is called Drehscheibe and Frau und Arbeit, I met much other stories, like different biographies, people who were actually not planning to come, they did not want to come, they had to come. You know, if they were going to stay alive, they had to come. And meeting them and seeing all of these struggles, the struggles that migrants have, it's been very, very eye-opening, and I absolutely appreciate where I'm at, and of course I empathize more with other stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we know, with what you've just said, we know you have this information because you work with migrants. So what are the common challenges faced by migrants?
Just start with the language. You know, German is the official language, and in as much as English is spoken in different offices, there are some people who will be willing to speak English, but not all of them. If you're going to get any documentation from the government or something, it's all going to be in German, and it's actually higher German, not the usual language that you use in the streets or something like that. And as well, the fact that, you know, if you cannot speak the language, how are you going to start working? And you are very, very, like, your life depends on what you're earning. You need money to live, and you need housing. And as I said, Salzburg, it's not in a good state when it comes to apartments. I mean, I've faced the challenges, so I know them.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how it is for migrants who have arrived here, and they have housing for a specific amount of time, usually 2 years or so. And within that time, you have to move out. You know, it's not guaranteed that at that time you've already started working. And the amount of money you do get from the government, it's usually not a lot or enough to save up. So it's just a host of challenges. But at the same time, it's not like painting a picture of doom and gloom. There are organizations that are out there helping people, and that's what we do. We connect people with what they need, or we just send them to these organizations, and it's wonderful because these organizations are usually very well connected. Yeah, so that's how it is working in these areas.
And I think you guys are doing a very good job with migrants coming into Salzburg or Austria.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, your social work, you are very active, and you are a co-founder in Answered Prayers Platform Africa.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Yeah, the whole thing started actually a long time ago. As far as I can remember, I'm not sure how old I was, but I do remember desiring to start something that would be helping people in need. I wasn't quite sure which area it would be. I remember fantasizing about a hospital, a missions hospital, or a children's home. And it's simply because I had worked, like we would do with the church groups, we would go to like children's homes and just play with the kids or clean up. So I knew something in that direction. So when I got here, a friend of mine, who is much more of a go-getter than I am, because I was back there thinking, oh, I need to raise this much funds, and then I will be able to start something. And she was like, yeah, you know what, we can actually just start with one person. Yeah, and so what we essentially do, we provide food packets on a monthly basis to women who are single moms or elderly widows, or just elderly women. And of course, there are some men, but most of the time it's women. We also check out the needs of the disabled within the community, and our activities are centered in Nakuru, my hometown. Me and my co-founder, we actually come from Nakuru, and we use volunteers. We have 4 volunteers working in 4 different places, and the women within their communities, they come usually to their place where they live. The women come to where the volunteers live. They meet together, they talk, and then they are given the food packets. When we have enough funds, we do buy mattresses, blankets, especially in the cold season. We also provide schools that are needy with hygiene articles for the girls, and there's also a program for pastoral counseling. Within the public school system, there is that opening where the kids can actually organize themselves for an activity in the morning, and the teachers or the head teachers, they usually just allow our volunteers, 2 of our volunteers, to do that. And these are women who are already very active within their communities. So like joining together with them was just like reinforcing them to do what they were already doing. Yeah.
So now this Answered Prayer Platform Africa is more in Kenya.
Yeah, Answered Prayer is based in Kenya, registered here.
Okay.
Yeah. Platform Africa is here, is registered here, and is operating here.
Yeah, Platform Africa.
Exactly.
So that means you interact with Africans who are single parents, old people as well?
Well, okay, that's a different... Okay, we have 2 different goals and objectives.
Okay,
yeah?
okay, there are 2 different platforms.
Exactly, exactly. Answered Prayer started 5 years ago.
Okay.
And Platform Africa was registered last year, November.
In Salzburg?
In Salzburg. Okay. And it was actually after the first Africa Community Festival. That we thought, because within, we are grateful to be sponsored, to get sponsorship for the African Community Festival from the town and Land Salzburg and Sparkasse, from the 2 times we've had the African Community Festival. And we realized we actually needed a name, you know, because it started as a conversation between 3 people and going like, hey, this is actually possible. Hey, maybe we should do something. And then we thought, okay, let's just try something. And thankfully we found, we were hosted for free by Arge Kultur, and we just had, thankfully, we were connected to other organizations that have the experience or the know-how in different areas. And yeah, and just like that.
You know, it's interesting because when I saw the flyer for the African Festival, I saw a lot of sponsors that you just mentioned. How was it easy for you or for you people, the organizers of the African Festival, to get these sponsors to be part of this program, these events?
I think on the flyer, you saw 2 groups of sponsors. There was the Arge Kultur sponsors, so that's for the organization itself, and then there was for the African Community Festival. And so we had Land Salzburg, Stadt Salzburg, we had Sparkasse, we had AAI, and of course my place of work. And honestly, it's all about knowing the right people, people who have been there and have the experience for it. Because, for example, submitting the application form or application for funds, we needed people who have done that, you know, to like, hey, could you support us in writing or putting into words what we are actually saying and putting them in the right words. And that's how it happened. We got a lot of help from AAI, not just in terms of funds, but also in the organizational process. And the players themselves, Beate Venegar is one of the organizers. She has been doing events like this for quite some time, actually. She's part of the Talk Together Verein, and she knows her way through things. And Rosina, she is connected. She's well connected to Rosina Danso. Is also my co-organizer. Yeah, and she is very, very well connected, and she loves the African community, and so it was just the right people coming together.
And things happened. So I just wanted to ask that question because you made mention of your sponsor, because we're still going to go to the festival. But now let's talk about your personal reflection and your activities, day-to-day activity. I knew you said you sing.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I think I've grown up singing. I mean, I'm not Mariah Carey, but I just love to sing. And it's honestly just part of now I realize it's very African, like just singing. I grew up around music. If it was on a Saturday, there'd be music playing. You'd be singing, washing your clothes or doing the chores at home.
A lot of singing.
If you're in the bathroom, you're singing and dancing, you know. It's really just part of the being African. And then on top of that, I grew up singing in church and dancing in church as well. And so music has always been part of me. And to come to Austria, very, very far away from home, and still get that opportunity is also something I'm really, really grateful for.
So where do you sing?
In our church, Calvary Chapel, Salzburg. Yeah.
You sing in the church.
Who knows? Maybe next time at the African Community Festival, I'll be able to bring together.
Stage.
Yeah, maybe I'll be on the stage and not an organizer.
So how do you balance your work life?
Oh my goodness.
Everything being an Africa.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not that easy.
Okay.
It's not really. Like when I moved here, I thought to myself, everything is just regulated. Like I don't know, you'll have to make time to meet with your friends. And when I was in Africa, it was like, we were very spontaneous. I can't afford to be spontaneous when I'm here, you know? And so honestly, I hope nobody's looking for advice on how to find that balance, because I'm still looking for it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sane. You know, I've not gone crazy, so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the things that I get to do, and I enjoy them. That's the thing. You know, none of them. I'm not forcing myself to do any of them.
Okay, there's this quick question I want to ask you right now.
Yeah.
What is that particular thing that you miss doing, that you were doing when you were back in Africa, but you're not doing it anymore?
Yeah, you know, I've actually thought about this several times. During the day or on the weekends, like I guess it was probably because of the size of the church that we had. Like our pastor was super supportive on young people doing what they like or just having fun, meeting together. So he would open the church doors, and we had like some rooms that we could just go meet there and sing. Someone would come with a guitar. There would always be a piano in church that we could use. So we would just be making music and enjoying ourselves, you know, enjoying creativity. And yeah, that's something I really, really miss. Or just the fact that it was so easy making friends, you know, or finding connections. That's something I absolutely miss. I remember a time when I would go to school, I was, for a certain period of time, I'd go with my mom. Yeah. And I was much older, but it was during the time she was going to work and I was also going to school. And there was this guy, we don't even know him. He would pass us by with his car. We were going to take the public transportation, and he would pass with his car and he would take us with him. Yeah. I don't even know his name. I don't even think we ever asked his name. Whenever he would find us, we would just jump in the car. They would start talking about, and you would never run out of things to talk about, you know? Yeah. So I miss that. I honestly miss that.
So now, being in Europe, what are those misconceptions that you had about Europe when you were back in Africa?
Yeah, that money grows on trees.
Okay.
Yeah, that you'd land here and spontaneously acquire a huge sum of money. Yeah, that life was easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a big lie. Life is not easy. Whatever you get, you have to sweat for it. Like you have to, you shed tears for it. Right. That's one of those misconceptions. Okay. And unfortunately, I don't think there's any way that you can make someone who's at home believe that that's not true. Okay. They just have to see for themselves. That was one of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other?
Yeah. Any other? Yeah. Well, I think I translated seeing, you know, very clean streets, and you know, whatever you would be seeing on the internet is probably an advert.
Yeah.
You know, people are smiling and all that, and I would translate that as friendliness. And you know, I don't think you can describe Austrians as being super friendly.
Or like where you're coming from.
Exactly. It's always in relation to, you know, where I'm coming from, like super open, warm or whatever.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, those are some...
different ball game.
No.
So now, I know you've been in Austria for quite a while, for a few numbers of years. So what were those cultural shocks that you got when you came into the country?
Yeah, the cultural shocks that I did experience. Yeah, I think I grew up in a time when, and I'm saying in a time when, it's not like I'm 50 years old, but but I know things have changed. Like in the past, it's been 9 years, but things have really, really changed. But when I was a kid, you know, you would just see random people come to your place and they visit and whatnot, and you know, having to, you cannot just show up at someone's place, you know, like, what do you want? At the door, nobody's opening. Do you need something? You know, that was, you know, that was something different for me. But the biggest, I guess, the biggest shocker was just how many people are smoking in Austria. It's still a shocker. Well, nowadays I don't notice it that much, but in the beginning, like I always say this, and this is the honest truth from me.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen about 2 women who smoke in Kenya, and men like a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here, from the youngest to the oldest, from teenagers to like 90-year-olds, you know, men and women, everyone is smoking, you know. Yeah, but that's...
Yeah, true, because when I also came in, I found it as a very big shock to me as well, because I go on the streets, on the bus stop waiting for bus, everybody's just like smoking. And me being curious, I'm always curious, I always ask my friends, people I talk to, and I ask them, does this stop the cool? Because when I see them smoking, I think
it should have an advantage,
What's
right?
the advantage of and they're like, Josh, no, it doesn't stop anything. So why did you just keep smoking? A lot of people smoke. So now, looking ahead for you, what is your hope for the Platform Africa? What do you see?
Honestly, we are hoping for more players.
Okay.
Yeah, and judging from the first one we had, as I said, it was something that we were trying out, and we honestly had West African, and with West African, I just mean Nigeria and Ghana, for example. Yeah. Those were like the main players, and myself from Kenya. And with the second one, we had East, West, and North Africa, part of North Africa, you know, doing something within the festival itself. Yeah. And that's a huge step. Of course, there was someone from South Africa, but the voices from Southern Africa, Northern Africa, we are hoping that they would also join us, and also hoping to, because I think, I feel like there's still a group that is not yet reached. Yeah. There are people who, usually with such a festival and the planning, you realize there are people who just need a push. Yeah. Who need just to like be pulled out of their own cocoons. And yeah, just hoping that we find more voices, or we have more players within the organization.
Yeah. So another question I would like to ask you again, it's, when I was there at the festival, I saw that it's just 3 women as the organizers. Yeah. Don't we have African men living in Salzburg? Why just women?
You know what? I don't know how I would answer that. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. We had, of course, men on the podium and doing this and that, but it was predominantly women. Yeah. I don't know whether I'm yet to investigate that, because even the first time we did let some men know, some unions that are led by men, we let everybody know and invited them. Yeah, or maybe it has something to do with the three of us, Beata, myself, and Rosina. We are all women. Maybe it has something to do with that, but that is also a desire that we would like to have. We want, Africa is made up of men and women, and yeah, we wish that we had more men.
Men being involved.
Yeah, men involved. I mean, we had yourself, you know, with the cameras. And
all. We were there.
Yeah.
So, because for me, I was just standing there with my camera, and I was just asking myself, why is it that it's just the three ladies that are called on stage as the organizers, and we have a lot of African men right here in the city of Salzburg? We are the men. So and I said I was going to ask you, is this something you are not doing? You are not involving them enough?
Let's ask them, where are you men?
So the men, where are you guys? Why are you people not part of the African Festival in Salzburg? So what actually inspired you guys, the two of you, to start up this festival?
I think the first thing was just making ourselves visible.
Okay.
Like saying, hey, we are actually here.
Okay.
And secondly is celebrating our identity as Africans. We are a huge continent made up of different countries, different cultures, different languages, and we just wanted to celebrate that.
Yeah.
And honestly, with organizing something such as that, bringing people from different backgrounds and stuff, it's not easy. It's really not easy because, you know, some people need, as I said, to be pushed a little. Some people have is that the word I want to use? We're just very different, and working with very different groups of people, it can be challenging. And honestly, with something such as that, it's a lot of unpaid work, and that's something that most people don't know. And only a few people would be like, hey, you know what? I'm joining in.
I'm joining this stuff.
Like the different points that you got to observe, if it was the PowerPoint presentation that we had, if it was contacting the different players, all of that, planning the meetings, where are we going to be meeting, which building, have we asked for permission, who are we supposed to talk to? All of that, it's a lot of unpaid work. Yeah, and so it needs a special set of skills, you know, and someone who really just loves African and the African people. Oh,
can we say this is the reason why the men are not part of this program? Because
I mean,
it's unpaid
you
work?
say that. You say that. I didn't say that. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just asking because it's unpaid work.
Yeah, I mean, the challenges are there. It's not all rosy.
Yeah.
Or the nerves before the meeting, is everything going to go in plan? Within the meeting, is everything going in plan? Have we forgotten anything? And after the meeting, the clearing up and whatnot, it's not easy.
At all?
No.
I must confess, you guys did a very great job. When I saw that the organizers were just women, and it was like that, so massive, because that was my first time coming. Although I was here last edition, but I think I was working that very day, so I could not come. But this time I said I was there. I was going to be there. Now, the other question is, like, looking at these two editions, the 2024 and the 2025, would you say, I want you to rate yourself, you've improved, or you think the last edition was better?
No, absolutely. It's an improvement.
Okay.
It was a major improvement. Just as I said, having all of the different countries represented, that was a huge plus for us. It was a huge plus for us. And of course, starting with the preparations for the next one, hoping to start much earlier, so and knowing that we've already had conversations with people about this one, and knowing that they are looking forward for the next one, I'm really hopeful, really hopeful. And it's not, the reason why Platform Africa exists is because when we started, we only had the Ghana Ferrain, or the Ghana Union, represented by Rosina. And we did not want people to feel like the Ghana Union was planning the Africa Fest, right? And that's why we had Platform Africa. And honestly, it should just be an umbrella. That's our desire. It's an umbrella for other unions, people who are involved somewhere else, and they want to come in and we do this together. Yeah, so it's not a one-man show. Everyone is invited for, if they are interested in organizing, they're very much welcome.
You made mention in the beginning that it's just, you wanted to be visible. You wanted Africa to be visible because in the city of Salzburg, where you have Austrians, the African community is not so visible. You wanted the voices to be heard. And you've done this for 2 years now. So what will be your rate card? Are you going to say that you have been visible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think we could estimate the number of the attendees was about 500 people.
That's a lot.
You know, I mean, people were coming and going. We had the bazaar outside, the people who were selling things, and people who visited that or the buffet, they came and they left, and then there was the evening with the music and the drumming and all of that. We have made a voice, and honestly, also with the funding this time, it was so fast. Like, we got the response so fast, and we were so grateful for that.
Yeah. I must confess too, because when I got there, I saw a lot of people, not just Africans. I saw Austrians, I saw Europeans trying African food. They were eating African rice, jollof rice, name it. And I was seeing the look on their faces. And I think they were enjoying the food, and I was really amazed. Like, you guys are doing a great job. I must confess that you people can put Africa in that light for people to come, try African food, buy African stuffs in the festival. So, looking ahead of the festival, you've done it for 2 years, and it's also going to happen again in 2026, which I know is going to be bigger because 2025 is bigger than 20. So what are we supposed to be looking out for? What are we expecting for 2026?
And just to mention what you talked about, people trying out different things. One thing I can give to Austrians is that they are very curious people.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're serving something and you're calling it food, they will ask what it is, but they're going to try it. They will definitely try it. So I'm super grateful for that aspect. In 2026, as I said, I am hoping for a much bigger representation within the southern African countries, northern African countries, and of course, I think the reason why we had less people from, or less players from those two areas is because of the representation within Salzburg itself. Salzburg is small, and the community of Africans is relatively smaller than other towns. So probably it has something to do with that. But we are hoping that the word has spread, and we are going to get the right people who have the right experience, or they don't have the experience, but they have the heart and the passion for it.
To join Africa Festival.
Yeah.
2026. We hope you guys are going to be part of it next year.
Exactly.
Because I think it's a big platform for Africans to showcase what they do, our culture, our music, our language, our food, most especially our food. It's a lot of food in Africa. So now, Dorcas, the next question I was going to ask you is that, I know it's kind of tricky, but I'm still going to ask anyway.
Okay.
Which of the African countries participated in the Africa Festival the most?
So from West Africa, I wish I had written this down. We had, of course, Nigeria. We had Ghana. We had Cameroon. We had, did we have Senegal? No, this time we did not have Senegal, but we're hoping for Senegal. We had Tunisia. We had, of course, Kenya. We had Uganda. We had South Africa. We had Somalia. We had...
Ethiopia?
Goodness, we had Ethiopia. We had the Ethiopian coffee. I'm sorry. There was the Ethiopian coffee ceremony. And actually, I think the drummers were from different African countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's majorly in Ghana. Yeah. But they were from different countries. Yeah, and I hope I haven't left out a country. Yeah, we had Eritrea. Oh no, it was Ethiopia. Sorry, it was we had an Eritrean. Yeah, and probably they just came as visitors, but we had Eritrea as well
in the festival.
Yes.
So, what African culture do you wish you could promote, you could showcase to the European society that you have not been able to include in the festival? It could be from Kenya, because you are from Kenya. It could be from other culture of Africa, because Africa is a very...
It is very big. It's not a country.
Continent, not a country.
Yeah, I think the culture of hospitality.
Okay.
Yeah, the culture of hospitality, which rings throughout Africa. Just that friendliness. That's something that I wish we could somehow inject people with.
I wanted to ask you, how do you intend to showcase hospitality during the festival? How do you intend to do that?
Vaccinations.
You just need to vaccinate everybody that is coming.
There need to be vaccination booths for that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's something that you can probably just start practicing. It's hard when it's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
But just show that there's a different way of doing things. And this is how it is. And just give a glimpse of what it means to be African.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll be including hospitality in the next edition of African Festival in Salzburg.
Yeah, there'll be an
injection vaccination. We are going to vaccinate all the Europeans that are going to come. The spirit of hospitality.
But you know what? We cannot also generalize. There are some Europeans that are super open, really friendly.
Yeah.
It's not always, but it's about the majority that we're talking about. And I think someone did tell me it's mistrust or distrust, which is the correct English word. I have
distrust,
distrust, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone did tell me. I remember asking this person who's Austrian, and I think they told me there's a lot of distrust between people. Like he told me he has visited some African countries, and he said there's some questions that you can ask in Africa that you cannot ask here.
Yeah.
The same way when I arrived, and probably that I should have mentioned that as a shocker.
Okay.
The question that I kept getting, how long have you been here? When are you going back? And it was always going like, what do you mean you're already kicking me out?
I'm just coming.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Because that's like a taboo question in an African household. You never ask anybody when are you going, but it's a different way of living, and it shocked me. But yeah, that's just how it is.
So after the festival, have you got any feedback from anybody, any Austrian society, anybody that gave you feedback on the festival?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I spoke to someone the next day, and they called me and they told me their knees were hurting because they danced a lot. Yeah, the music was beautiful. I know those were some of the things that I did get.
Yeah.
The music was beautiful, and if a lot of people enjoyed just the laughter, the conversations, the good time. That's something that I did get as a feedback. And of course, criticism, because criticism will always be there.
Yeah.
We are grateful for constructive criticism. Talking about the arrangement of things, this could have gone better, and we are also grateful and open for that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much, Dorcas.
Yeah, thank you.
The very final question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
If you could change one thing about the African society to the Europeans, what could that be?
If I could change one thing of the African community, here or at home, or the picture of Africans?
The boats. If you could change one thing.
Yeah, if I could change something about or the impression that
The Europeans
it's about the impression that they have of Africans. Here. I don't know about impression, but I wish I could change how the African lives are right here. I'm not quite sure I'm answering your question correctly, but I'm creating my own question. Like, if I could change something about the livelihood of Africans, because with my job, I get to meet a lot of students, African students who have moved here, and they really do get a difficult time getting work. You know, they are very competent in a certain area. They are qualified in certain things, but that know-how, those skills are untapped here. That's something I wish I could change, you know, and make the system more open to qualifications that have not been gotten here, but are still good, and they can do something. That's something I wish I could change. On the impression that Europeans probably have of Africans, yeah, it's not all gloom and doom, you know, and that's something that I sometimes have difficulty in. You know, with having Answered Prayer as a project, because we are there fighting poverty, and so we are constantly talking about poverty, but that's not all there is to it. So I wish I could change. I could change that impression.
And if you could change something about, you're from Kenya, let me specify Kenya now, about Kenyans, what they think about the Europeans, what could that be?
Yeah, they are not that rich, you know, like I think there's that impression of the well-to-do countries translates to people having money that they can just dish out. I think that's a really wrong perspective, view that I think Kenyans, once you say you're leaving the country, they don't even want to know where. You're flying out of Africa, you're going to make it. You're going to become rich. That's something that I wish I could somehow educate people on, but I know that it's almost impossible.
So now, you speak Kenyan language very well?
The Kenyan languages very well,
So now you're going to do this very last thing for us.
Oh my goodness,
You're going to speak in Kenyan language. Which language do you speak in Kenya?
So the tribal language is Kikuyu. We have Swahili. Swahili is actually quite widespread now, I must say. I'm shocked.
I think that is the most popular language in Kenya.
In Africa. I think it's the only... wait a minute. I think I heard that it was the only African language that is a national language in Africa. But I'm not, I can't quite remember the quote. But yeah, it's spoken in different countries and it's spreading. So probably I could do something in Swahili.
Okay, now you're going to do to the viewers, tell them to keep watching African Voices in Europe on FScience in Swahili.
Oh my goodness. You should have told me to prepare for that.
You don't need to prepare. If I asked you to do it in German, you could do it. So do it in Swahili.
I know, right? So, wapenzi watazamaji, ningeomba mzidi kutazama African Voices na Joshua, the host.
So whatever she said you should keep watching African Voices in Europe on FScience Television. I am your host, Aigu Joshua Oyamo, and we've been in the studio with Dorcas from Kenya, a founder of Answered Prayer and the Platform Africa, and an organizer, part of the organizers of African Festival in Southport, 2025 and 2024. And she has just told us that we should be expecting more of the celebration, more of African culture in 2026. And for those of you who have not yet started participating in this festival, I think it's a platform for us to showcase our heritage, our culture, our music, our food, just name it, African community as a whole. Just be part of this festival. I think it's a good place for us to meet and celebrate ourselves. Thank you for watching this episode. That is all we have for you today. Thank you, Dorcas, for coming. Thank you for the producer crew, Emma, and every other person. We are grateful. Remember, I'm your host, Aigu Joshua Oyamo, and this is African Voices in Europe. Stay tuned. Bye.